Welcome to Camaraderie, a Q&A session thing. Just gonna answer some questions and clean a little Nikon F I got going on right here. I know this is a super flattering and good angle, but it's kind of tight in here, so whatever, man. Let's just get going. I've always wanted to do a Q&A ever since I hit 5,000 subs, which that's been a little while now, but never really got around to doing it. And then my most recent Chicago video did really well, and I was like, you know what, let's celebrate and like y'all just ask me things. I know there's some questions I've gotten quite a few times over the years, so why not combine that with doing a little, giving our little Nikon F some TLC. It was given to me by Matt from Wooden Gamer. Great guy. I've met him a few times over the last few years, and you know, it was very, very generous. He gifted me this along with a few other things that had just been gathering dust in his garage for years and years and years. So I'm very happy and very grateful to give this a good home. Actually first, let's go ahead and get it going. Yeah, all right, this might be kind of noisy, but you know, we'll see how it goes. This might not work at all, and maybe I'll have to re-record it. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to find another dirty camera if that's the case. I've got plenty of those. Kodak Tri-X or Ilford HP5. Honestly, imagine if I started off dishonestly, I would say this. Personally, I've used Ilford HP5 a lot more than I have Tri-X. I think they're both great films. Obviously, I mean, they're kind of the two standards, right? Or two of the standards. I try not to bump that, but it'll happen sometimes. Nothing warp stabilizer can't fix. I think I like Ilford HP5 better. That might just be because I have more experience with it and know kind of what to expect from it. But I have nothing against Tri-X or T-Max. I actually think I might like T-Max a little bit better than Tri-X if I'm being 100% honest. That's just a gut feeling. I don't really have any justification for that. I just feel like I do. Yeah, all right. Yeah, no, HP5, can't really go wrong with it. I love the contrast and the grain structure, and it's just a good time whenever I do actually shoot with HP5. This is a good question right off the rip. Why are you the way that you are? I ain't got enough time to answer that one. That's something I ask myself every single day. I'm sorry that's not a satisfying answer, but you know. Yeah. Also, I've been kind of a little hushed because I've got a sick roommate and a sick dog in the house, so I'm trying my best not to disturb them. Yeah, we got some gunk in here. I don't know if you can see that, but like right there, there's some little black specks of grime. That might be better suited for a Q-tip. Going on, next question. I've actually got this question quite a few times. Why do you and Clint live in different states? It's a fair question. I guess, like, in my mind, I never really thought about it, but I have definitely gotten that question a few times over the last couple years. And like, the long story short, it's just, you know, life happens. Yeah, that's the easiest way to put it, you know, like, grew up in North Carolina, you know, both of us. Also, just to piggyback off this, we are brothers. I know on Twitter we have different, like, I think I'm Luke Bates on Twitter. That's just a college nickname that I got because I roomed with another Luke. And then it's a long story, but basically that's just my nickname. And I come from a time, I grew up in a time when it's like, you don't put your personal information out online, which that's completely changed now, but it's just a holdover from that. And, you know, I mean, I think I got my Twitter account in 2009. 2009 or 10 maybe. But anyways, yeah, and that's just, we do have the actual same last name. I am Luke Basinger. Back to the original question though, why do we live in different states? You know, it's just, I don't know, why not? There's a lot of life and a lot of world out there, and I always get a little agitated with being comfortable sometimes. I really like being comfortable, but it's just something that goes in my brain when I've been in one spot for too long. And yeah, I mean, you know, I've lived in like 5 different major cities in North Carolina, and like I haven't lived with or near Clint in like 14 years, something like that. It's been a while, but yeah, I mean, I guess since I started college. So, you know, there was summer breaks and all that kind of stuff when I would go back home, but like, yeah, no, really, especially since I graduated college, like halfway through college, I stopped going home for major breaks because I was working and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, and then just life kind of happened, and here we are. So, yeah. All right, that's one Q-tip down. That's just from cleaning out this little rim right here. This camera really isn't in that bad a shape. It's got a couple little nicks here and there, but for being as old as it is, it's honestly in pretty good shape. Maybe just clean out some of the grooves right here if I can. I don't know if that's like a scratch or if that's gunk. Oh, that's gunk. Very good. All right, next question. This is gonna be a long one. These are probably all gonna be long, but yeah. Desert Island movie, game, or album? Well, movie is easy. Lord of the Rings. I count all 3 of them as one movie because that's how they should be watched, and the Lord of the Rings is one book. It was just released in 3 separate volumes. Actually, I guess technically each book is 2 books, but like, come on. Now we're just splitting hairs. Yeah, so Lord of the Rings game, Desert Island game would probably be Skate 2 for the Xbox 360 or anything else that can run it, because that is a very therapeutic game for me. It's nice to just kind of hop on your board and just roll around and do cool tricks and stuff. I don't know, it's much more easygoing than say like Tony Hawk. Yeah, it's just like a vibe sesh. Freedom and the flow and the vibes of the skate games is magnificent, and Skate 2 is the best of the bunch, in my humble opinion. It's just more gunk everywhere you look. And what was the other? Oh, album. That's the toughest of the bunch. Probably, I'm gonna be basic and say probably Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, because the Beatles, basic though it may be to say, I think are the greatest band of all time. Yeah. Either that or Odd Soul from Mute Math. Those are two of my favorite albums. But if I had to pick just one, I think you can learn a lot in a good listen through of Sgt. Pepper. Most of the rest of these I think are more like film or camera related, so kind of go through a bunch of these pretty quickly, hopefully. Oh yeah, one thing I thought was really cool about the F, so I've never had one of these before, but it opens like the how the F2 does, you know, this little, you pull it up and turn it, but instead of the film back popping open like that, it actually it just comes off. Like, that's weird. I don't know why, it just seems very insecure to me. Maybe I'm just projecting. But yeah, I mean, honestly, look at this thing. It's really pretty clean on the inside. I don't have to touch this much. It's mostly just the outside and the crevices and the glass that needs a little bit of touch up. All right, next question. What was your favorite shooting location of all time? Definitely the Four Corners area, the desert, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico, Arizona. It's my favorite part of the country that I've been to. Got plenty of other places I'd love to go to and will go to eventually, but yeah, that whole area, because you've got the Rockies, you've got the desert, it's just such a crazy place to shoot, especially landscapes, but even like, I'm not really a landscape photographer, but there's something about the combination of the film grain and texture with like these massive plateaus, and just like the shape of nature out there is just incredible. And plus, I mean, you know, I don't know, it just makes me feel like Ansel Adams when I'm out there, even though I'm nowhere close to it. But yeah, so Four Corners area of the United States. Do I have any interest in antique photos? I don't know if this question means like as a collector or just in general. As a collector, not really. I like antique cameras. I mean, okay, let me back up. As a collector, no. I don't really see the point in collecting antique photos just for the sake of having antique photos for myself. Unless, I mean, obviously if, you know, I have some personal connection to them, that's one thing, but yeah, I think antique photos are incredibly valuable, and it would pain me to see like a bunch of them get thrown away or something. But actually, wait, let me see. Is this even focused on me? I don't know. It's probably just been focusing on this rod this whole time, but whatever. Yeah, no, not really. I don't really have any interest in antique photos. I think they're cool, and it's great to see how far the medium has come. And they are, you know, they have historic value, but don't really have any, it's not something I necessarily seek out. All right, on the subject of old stuff, do you use old expired film? And if so, do you have a preference on it versus new film? Dude, I keep bumping into this. This is great. Let me put my hat on backwards so I don't do that anymore. I don't generally use expired film. I've used it a few times to varying degrees of success, and that's probably why I don't prefer it. There's so much variability in film photography anyways that I like to have as many of those variables controlled for. Just in my own work. I think they're really fun, and they can be a great way to experiment and like just see what happens. Like I definitely have fun whenever I do experiment with expired film, but yeah, it's not my go-to. Just because, like, even if you do get some expired film, like, you could have two of the same batch or the same film stock, and they can be so wildly different from each other when they come out. So not my style. It's fun though. It's fun to mess around, and like if I don't care about a shot necessarily, like if I'm not producing work, whatever that means, then yeah, you know, go for it. I have no problem with it. All right. So this back plate is pretty clean. There's some little nicks on the bottom of the some little nickies on the bottom of the film back right here, but yeah, a little flecks of paint missing, but otherwise pretty clean, not much dust. Cool, so that's good to go. So this, oh, now there we go, that's something I'm missing. This little top part right here, this ridge, I don't know if you can quite see it, but it is pretty gnarly. Let me see if I can get any closer with that. Yeah, that top ridge right there is just got a whole bunch of gunk in it. So let's remedy that. Cool. Dream place to shoot at. The world. The world is my dream place to shoot. I want to go everywhere and see everything that I can and shoot it on film, because that sounds like a really good way to spend a life. Probably, I mean, obviously New York would be cool. Love to go to Tokyo. Cool. That's looking a lot better. Nice. This is a good question right here. On a scale of 1 to mint chocolate chip, when a cow jumps over a blue moon, what is your favorite scent of the alphabet? Crunchy. Moving on. What is your dream camera and or lenses? My dream camera is I gotta look up what this is called. Wide Lux. It's the one that Jeff Bridges uses. The Panon Wide Lux F. I can't remember if he uses the F7 or F6, but yeah, just the Wide Lux. That would be incredible. I don't really have any like specific use for it, but like just Jeff Bridges has the actor Tron dude, and the dude, among very many other things in his long and storied career. He has a couple of collections of his photos that he's shot on set throughout his career, and he's been using the Wide Lux for like decades, so he really knows how to get the most out of it, I think. And just like, again, I'm not Jeff Bridges. I'm not working on all of these incredible film sets, and I mean, that's just his subject, but like I think you could use it in very specific circumstances to very great effect, because it just gets like, it's basically how it is like, so you see right here, this is like the shutter for the Nikon F. That is one exposure, right? That's the size of a 35 millimeter frame, and the Wide Lux is literally just that, but again. So it has this whole big wide shutter that it's just look it up. it's awesome. And so you have all that room to play with. I mean, it's a panoramic camera, so, but the way that he uses it, I find really interesting because he uses it in like tight, up close, personal ways that I find fascinating. And I would love to just like get my hands, maybe not even own one, but just to like mess around with it for a very long time. I think you could do some really interesting street work with it. Do you have a go-to or favorite film, or do you just use what you can get a hold of? Kind of both. My go-to, if you are a follower of this channel for just about any length of time, you'll know that I love me some Kentmere 400. That's my go-to. And my other go-to, my go-to for color is Kodak Ultramax, but I can rarely find it anymore. So yeah, I kind of just use whatever I have or whatever I can get a hold of. Most of the time it's like Fuji stuff, which, you know, Fuji is great too, but I do prefer Kodak. Ooh. Give it a good blow. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this back on. Yep. Actually, wait, hang on. Let me just make sure that everything's in working order. Yep, sure is. Oh, yeah, that's one thing I noticed when I was messing around with this. I'm gonna have to get this very slidey the shutter speed selector fixed if I can, because it's supposed to click between these, but it just kind of moves around and does its thing. So hopefully we can fix that. Next question is, have you ever had a shot turn out better than you expected it to? Absolutely, all the time. Like, that's part of what's great about photography. And to be fair, like, I've had probably way more turn out the other way, where it's like not nearly as good as I thought it would be, but that's just the nature of the game, man. What is your favorite camera and lens that you own? It's got to be my Nikon F2. It's just, it does everything I need, or well, maybe not everything, but it does most of what I need. And it's got a lot of really cool features. I mean, it's a professional camera from back in the day. I'm trying to get this top piece off so we can access these little crevices and whatnot, and it's proving a little bit tricky. Because you've got to get, I think these might be a little bit stuck. So this guy right here comes out, and you're supposed to be able to press this button and take it off. There we go. Yeah, maybe. Now. Come on. I have to. Alright. There we go. Because see, like the Nikon F2 has like a little slot right across there that helps make it a lot easier to push in. There we go. There we go. All right. Where was I? Favorite camera and lens that I own. Definitely the F2. It's just got it's just so good. The mechanics are so good. It all just works. Got a decent range of ISO and shutter speed, pretty much the same as this. In fact, I think maybe really the only big difference is like a couple of little design choices. Like I like the film advance lever better on. In fact, I think I like basically everything and better with the F2. f2, because like I like the shutter button being right here instead of right here. I think the action on the, like, that feels pretty good, but I just like, ooh, I might have to reconsider the film advance lever. But anyways, getting off topic. Yeah, the F2 for sure. My lens of choice kind of depends on the day to day, and what I'm shooting. So yeah, I mean, right now I'm rocking with a 28 mil, a 50 mil, 1.8, and a 135 mil. So those are, you know, got pretty much the whole spectrum covered there. Let's see. Oh, this is a good question. Do you keep multiple cameras on you with different film for that shot that would benefit more? Do you keep multiple cameras on you with different film for that shot that would benefit more from a certain film? Generally no. Generally no. But if you've seen any of my Chicago videos, yeah, I you know, I'm just all double strapped up on a Tuesday with my Nikon F2 and my Pentax 645, just because, you know, it's nice to have different options, but it can be a bit paralyzing at times, because like, oh, would it work better with the film that I've gotten here, but I don't have the right lens for this, you know, whatever. So I generally try to just keep one film stock and one camera loaded. I might bring some different film stocks, but I'm not like, I don't have like replaceable, changeable backs or anything for any of my cameras to like switch film stocks on the fly or anything. So I like to keep it pretty simple. It just helps me focus on the shot rather than the gear. Is there any film that you have used that stands out more than others that you have used for any reason? Yeah, I would say the film stock that has stood out the most to me that I've ever used is Cinestill 800T. It's something that you can just notice a mile away. Like if you look at there aren't many film stocks. Like you might be able to tell, I might be able to tell what like brand of film stock is, like if it's Fuji or Kodak, but like with Cinestill 800T, like you know it's Cinestill 800T, like right off the rip, just because of the nature of like the halations and all that. I think this little top piece is just about clean. I think so. Does that come off? I don't think so. I think that's just in there. Next question. Oh, go-to sandwich. My go-to. So go-to I think is different than favorite. My go-to is pretty simple, just like, you know, good hearty wheat or sourdough bread with various cold cuts and cheeses and spinach and spreads and tomatoes. I don't know. That's like half the time for lunch. That's what something like that is what I eat. But my favorite, like if I go somewhere and they either have a smash burger or a fried chicken sandwich, I'm gonna get one of those, because those are two, like, especially down south, down here in the South, those are like, you can tell a lot about a place by how they treat their fried chicken. Throw some pimento cheese on it. Oh, dude, fried chicken sandwich with pimento cheese. There you go, there's your answer. Do you have any favorite type of shots that you like to take? This is gonna sound like a cop-out, but genuinely, it's whatever catches my eye. I really enjoy doing street stuff. I'm not very good at it, I don't think, but I enjoy doing that. And I like, it really depends on where I'm at. Like out west, I'm all doing like vast grand landscapes and trying to be Ansel Adams. If I could be like any photographer, maybe not like them, the person, but if I could take pictures like anybody, it'd probably be like Gary Winogrand. I think Winogrand. I think he's got a really interesting style. So that's kind of those are the types of shots I like to take. There we go. All right. Yes, you can take out the focusing screen. Yeah, that's one thing I love about the F system of lenses, is that they're so very modular. Like this, you can get different kinds of, like you see it's got that little circle in the middle. Some of them you can have with grids. This is a split prism collar focusing glass. This is my favorite style of focusing glass. Is that what it's called? Focusing screen? Yeah, focusing screen. So yeah, it's just useful to be able to change out all that stuff if you want to. What's the hardest part about shooting film? Probably getting started, or staying motivated, or doing the developing, or waiting for the scans to get back, or learning new techniques. And really just like the easiest part about it is actually just taking the shot, I guess. I don't know. I don't really have a good answer for that. It's all challenging. Honestly, depending on where you're at in life, getting started might be, like if you don't have any gear and you don't want to just be shooting with a Holga or something, like it can be pretty expensive to get into. So I would say that is probably the hardest. Beyond that, staying motivated, that's one of the reasons why I like to go around everywhere so much, because, you know, once you see the same thing over and over and over again, it gets a little, I don't know, it can get old for me. Let's see, oh, okay, that is scrapable, all right, cool. Any advice you'd like to pass on to people interested in getting into film photography? Yeah, just start it. I know I just said that was the hardest part, but yeah, just start it and see what happens. Like, I know that's kind of I don't know, I don't like that answer actually. My advice would be to learn as much as you can. Follow all of the photographers that you can, watch all of the YouTube videos, read all of the things, and just like get a sense for what you want to do with photography and what you can do with photography. Like when I was starting, Ted Forbes from The Art of Photography and Matt Day, especially when I started taking it a little bit more seriously and like developing my own stuff, Ted Forbes from The Art of Photography and Matt Day were indispensable resources, both in learning how to develop my film and also just like their approaches to photographing. I think they are both really interesting dudes, and they got a lot of good stuff to say. This next question just says, Freddie Westman? yeah, Freddie Westman, dude. I don't really know what else I'm supposed to say there. But yes, Freddie Westman. Yeah, I can't even pretend to know what exactly about Freddie Westman, so I will just say yes, Freddie Westman. Dude, all these questions are just so very heady, which is great because I like those kinds of questions, but they require me to think. Ah, sucks. No, these are all really, really good questions. I thank y'all for submitting all of them. My favorite part about shooting with film is I don't want to be lame and just say all of it, because that's not quite true, but my favorite part is especially with the way that I shoot and with developing my own stuff and scanning and occasionally printing, which I have only very limited experience with, but it's just like seeing it through from beginning to end, the entire process. Like, I roll my own film cassettes, I shoot my own stuff, I develop it, I scan it, print it. Like, it's just really very gratifying and satisfying to like have it all come together. And then, you know, if the shot's good, it's quite the rush for me. Specifically with film photography, I think it's just this neat intersection of art and science that really tickles my fancy. I don't know if that's the right phrase to use there, but you know, it's all of the, it's just, yeah, it's the intersection of art and science. Because just like you're doing chemistry, like you put some, you see something that looks nice, right? And you point a camera at it with some light sensitive silver specks in celluloid. The photons get trapped on the silver specks, and then you do chemistry on it, and it like takes away the ones that weren't charged or that didn't have photons touch them, and then you do the flip. It's a lot of chemistry and science to make art, and that really, yeah, feels good, man. That's my favorite thing about it. Have I ever tried to go back and retake / replicate a photo that I took that didn't turn out as I had hoped? Yes, absolutely I have. There's this one spot when I lived in Raleigh that I think I covered it in a video. I'll have to go back and see, or maybe I'll just put it up on the screen right now. But yeah, this one photo, it's in between these two government buildings, and I don't know why, I just liked the way it looked. And over the 4 or 5, however many years I lived in Raleigh, I went back there and took the same picture probably 7, 8, 9 times, and then I finally got one that I was pleased with, and I was like, all right, cool, I'm done with this shot. So yeah, but it's always cool to like try and better my skills and my understanding of light and yada yada yada. But yeah, long or short story long, yes, I have definitely done that. Definitely tried to go back and retake something that didn't quite turn out as I had hoped. Oh, here's a good one. Favorite dinosaur? Probably, I think it's got to be the, how do you say it? Parasaurolophus? Parasaurolophus? Yeah, it's the one with the it's not a horn, it's like a crescent thing coming out of the back of its head. I don't know why it's my favorite, but it has been since I was a little kid. I think I thought they could like breathe fire or something. I don't know. They're herbivores, so I don't know why they would need to breathe fire, but oh, that's tricky. Wonder if maybe another one of these can get in there. There's this little like gunky bit right there. Do you have a favorite shot? Not really. I have shots that I really like, but I think my favorite shot changes from day to day. And plus, like, yeah, I guess I don't really have a favorite shot. I definitely have some that I don't like and will never think about again, unless I accidentally scroll by them on Lightroom or something. But yeah, I have several shots that I am proud of and really like how they turned out, but I don't think I have a favorite. Alright, this is gonna be tricky. Trying to clean this mirror, and I will do it while talking about ruining photos. So that is maybe tempting fate a bit, but it must be done. Yeah, I don't know if you can see, it's incredibly dishty in there. Whoop, that's the wrong way. Have you ever accidentally ruined a film strip by not developing it correctly? And the other question that's kind of similar is, have you ever taken a brilliant, life-changing shot that got destroyed in the developing process? So, oh, I feel so, I don't know if I'm doing this the right way. Yes, I've ruined several strips of film by not developing it correctly, in all sorts of ways. One time I was, we had just gotten back. Is this gonna corrode anything on the inside? So that's some sort of felt. Probably don't want to touch that with this rubbing alcohol. Maybe I should use one of these. Yeah, we had just gotten back from a trip out west. It was my first time being out there with some friends of mine. And I don't know about this, man. Ooh, oh no. Yeah, and it was a roll of color film, and I just straight up put the Blix in first. It made it look kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, I would have much preferred not to have weird streaks of strange colors going through all of my first pictures of Colorado and the desert and all that. Definitely ruined a strip that way just by using the wrong chemicals. I've also, or using the chemicals in the wrong order. I've also ruined three strips at once. Ooh, yeah, that felt starting to come off. Because, and these were, I think, whether or not they would have been life-changing, they were certainly historical. So, let me set the scene. Back when I was living in Raleigh, this was this would have been like 2017, 18, somewhere around then. I think it was shortly after the Charlottesville white asshole rally that they had up there. And yeah, I went there because there was supposed to be basically not a KKK rally, but like a white supremacist rally, which, you know, and one could argue one and the same. But then I didn't, okay, let me rephrase that. I didn't go because of that rally. I went because there was a counter rally scheduled, and I just wanted to go. It seemed like you know, stuff was starting to pop off, and it really seemed like an important thing that I wanted to support and document from a film, well, like with film, because like, you know, you see all these pictures of, I think that's pretty much, oh, I'll take one more. See all these pictures of like the civil rights movement and everything, and not that I was like, oh, I'm gonna be a civil rights photographer, be well known or anything like that. I just wanted to capture the moment because it was right in my backyard, and it seemed like it was a, you know, critical juncture in American history, and I had the opportunity to be there, and I went, and there was, I blew through I think 2 or 3 rolls in a matter of like 45 minutes, and I know I got some incredible shots. I don't even want to describe them because it wouldn't do them justice, but like I know that I got amazing shots, and I was really proud of like myself for actually going out there, because that's not necessarily something that I would have ever seen myself doing a long time ago. But I got back home, put them in my tank, and then for whatever reason, I don't know why, but before I started developing, like I had the rolls in my tank, and before pouring any chemicals or anything in there, I just took the lid of the Patterson tank off. I don't know why. That is the biggest regret I ever will have of hopefully of my photographic life. So yeah, definitely ruined some rolls. So, but okay, cool. Well, that's that. Thanks for joining me on this different episode, different sort of video. Hope you learned something about yourself, about me. Oh, I think it just fixed itself. Nice. Let's go all the way. Wow. Yeah, dude. I just cleaned it, and it's actually clicking between the shutter speeds now. That's, you know, some of these things, they just need a little bit of TLC and they'll be good as new. That's awesome. Sweet. I was really kind of worried about that. Alright, there we go. Do a little Nikon shuffle and we're good to go. No, we're not. I need to put my focusing screen back in. Well, I'll do that off camera. Thanks for watching. I'll be on this side of the lens in the next one. Until then, see ya.